What is up, everybody? Hope you guys had a great 4th of July, blowing up all your money, keeping it safe, not blowing up your hands or your fingers, maybe your neighbor's house, your neighbor's tree. Anyways, with that being said, we have a lot of things to talk about today, a lot of things to do. So if you guys might have seen the last video, we had the motor built already for the Trailblazer SS. Motor's in, motor is actually on. I had it on a couple of times already, but now here's the interesting part. Now that the motor's on, we originally knew the problem was the motor, right? Internal problems. So here's the tricky thing. When buying a car that I bought it, I didn't even turn it on until I actually bought it. I already had it here at the shop, and I forcefully tried to turn it on. I just started throwing a bunch of starter fluid down the throttle body and trying to make it turn on. And then eventually turned it on, and then of course we heard the dreadful rod knock. Now for me, that was worst case scenario, and I was already ready for worst case scenario, which was being the whole motor being blown up. As long as it didn't have a blown block, like a big hole in the side of the block, I was completely fine with that. Only because 1, I have a bunch of LS parts, 2, I know how to work on them, 3, it was a great deal. For $3,000, I got this Trailblazer Super Sport, not knowing what was going to happen to it, if it was going to run, if it wasn't, whatever, etc. So now that we have it on, here comes the tricky part. Finally fixed the internal problems, for sure. Now, what caused those internal problems? So 1 was for sure oil starvation. Why? Because these Trailblazers are notorious for oil starvation due to the oil pan design. So I'm pretty sure the previous owner was like, hey, what the hell, fuck it, I'm gonna step on it 24/7, beat on it, and yeah, eventually gave out. 2, when we were taking apart the motor, we noticed there was oil and coolant mixed up together. So what does that mean? There was overheating problems. And sure enough, when we took apart the motor, in the last video, you guys would be able to see how the gasket was burnt in the middle. It was cracked on both sides of the motor, so bank 1 and bank 2, in between the middle cylinders. So for sure they overheated it. Now 3, the problems that we had, or I had recently when I turned it on the first time, was P0016, which is correlation with the camshaft and crankshaft. When I powder coated all these new parts, I did change out my camshaft, but I did not change the crankshaft. So what I ended up doing is I ordered a new crankshaft from O'Reilly's from my boy Fernie, hooked me up, brought it here, turned it on, done. Code was gone, right? So now the only code we have left from the motor is this map sensor. So this is a map sensor it had. I already changed it out. I had a spare map sensor from another Trailblazer manifold. So it's on now. Now I can go ahead and test it out. But another thing too, I'm still getting a high temperature. We're still reading high on temperature. So I just got to double check that there's enough coolant in the system right now. If not, we're going to have some issues there with the cooling system as far as the fan clutch goes. Now, for those of you guys that know, this type of truck has this electrical engaged type of fan clutch. Yes, it's very ugly. Now I could have gone the electrical fan route, but at the moment I just want to get it started running, get it smogged, and do all that good stuff, so we can start using it, and then eventually start modifying it a lot more, such as that long tube headers, different cold air intake, obviously the fan system. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do right now is fill her up with more coolant, because I see it's a little low. Fill her up, let her run, see if we can get rid of that map sensor code, and then if we can't, then there should be a problem here, maybe a small vacuum leak that's causing this map sensor code to go off. So not always is it going to be the map sensor. Luckily I had another sensor to try it out with. Damn, people are still celebrating, very patriotic. Anyways, yeah, so let's get started with that, and then we can see what else is giving us the problem. All right, y'all, here we are, day 2, trying to figure out what's up with the Blazer. Now after that, the motor's in, it runs, got a couple check engine lights on, but we got one of them taken care of. We just got one more to go, which is the map sensor. I went ahead and ordered one already. I do have 5 volts to it. The ground is good, so pretty sure it's just the sensor. If it's not, then we have to do some more digging. But once the new sensor gets here, replace it, get rid of the check engine light, and we'll see what's up. But we did run into some charging system problems right now, so it's not charging the battery, so it is losing voltage. So we're gonna go on that right now. We're gonna hop on that right now, but I gotta do the brakes on it because yeah, these are yeah, I'm not gonna stop anytime soon when I decide to drive this truck. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the pads and get these rotors resurfaced. I recommend this to everyone. When you do new brake pads, don't just throw on the brake pads. Get these rotors resurfaced, and then it'll save you some headaches, because yeah, you always want to make sure the pad's on a fresh surface. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Well, all right, you guys, it's time I give you guys an update. It's been a minute since I've been uploading. Well, not really a minute, it's been like a week or two, but I think it's only fair I give you guys an update of what I've been doing behind the scenes with the Trailblazer. It's been nothing but headaches, but we're gonna get it done. I just need a couple more days with it and some more time with it. But let me give you guys an update on what's going on with it. Well, it's on, drives, but the charging system isn't working for some reason, and I suspect it's gonna just be grounds, only because we powder coated the alternator bracket, so I feel like it's not making enough contact with the alternator itself and making ground. And then I believe we might have an issue with the body control module, I'm not sure. Also, I'm doing the lower control arm bushings because these are really bad. So they were moving a lot, there was a lot of play. I ended up getting some new ones, so we're doing that right now, replacing this sway bar end link because it only had this. Where'd it go? This right here on this side. The other one's still intact, but while we're here, might as well do it the right way. And I don't have any more issues with the suspension, which I fear we are, because it looks pretty beat up. So yeah, but for right now, I really want to get this car started, that way we can get it back on the road and start driving it. God damn. So this is the driver's side, and then this is the passenger side, and just look at that bushing. There's nothing left. Looks like they changed these out a while ago, I'm not sure, but anyways, we already have the new one over here. And again, I was gonna change out the sway bar end links, but no one has them in stock right now. So what I'm probably just gonna do is just finish up the bottom, and then hopefully just order these on Amazon. And it's just 2 bolts, so or 2 nuts I should say, and I can do that at a later time. So I'll probably just use these for right now, just for me to move the truck back and forth. I'm not gonna be doing nothing crazy, can't drive it either way. So yeah, so let me finish this up. And for those of you guys that don't know how to do this, it's really simple. You don't have to take off the lower control arm, you just change these bushings out. If for whatever reason this bushing right here in the middle is really bad, and this one down here, might as well just change everything out. I think O'Reilly has them. Don't get AutoZone, just go O'Reilly's, my preference. And only because of past experiences, I feel like O'Reilly parts are a little bit better. So yeah, so if you have the opportunity of getting O'Reilly's or OEM or anything with upgraded bushings, just do that. I know you're gonna save a couple $100, maybe not even $100 on AutoZone. Just don't do it, you're gonna regret it. But let's finish her up. Well, there she is. Lower control arm bushings are done. Just need tie rod ends and sway bar end links, which I should be getting tomorrow morning. Well, there we have the battery light on, but it's charging for some reason. And we do have the check engine light on because most of the electronics have low voltage. So yeah, that's the electronic issue that I've been having. It should be something very simple, only because when I first got the truck and I made it start up, I didn't have that issue. So it's probably a grounding issue or a new alternator that I need to get. But yeah, we'll take care of that. But anyways, yeah, that's that chirping. It's probably the alternator, I'm not gonna lie, because the rest of the pulleys seem fine. Damn. That oil pressure though. You got oil pressure? Because this for sure does have oil pressure. Let's go hear that cam. I know I said I was gonna stop doing this, but I had to come back the next day because I just had an itch behind my head, trying to figure out what was wrong with the truck. Why is it not charging? What's wrong with it? Why after I take it out for a little spin, I park it, it won't turn on? Well, came back today, a lot more thoughtful, a lot more energetic, a lot, you know, well rested, and I put some time in the truck, and guess what it was? On the truck, these alternators are the newer LS style alternators that use a plug that has 2 wires. The older ones have, like this one, this is a 2001 swap. It has an alternator with a connection with 4 wires. So my electrician, just to get the truck running and charging on the system, put one of the old style alternators on it and just plugged 1 wire in it, and it was charging. But the thing is, not all the electronics in the truck, such as the body control module, and that's pretty much it, just the body control module, wasn't getting enough voltage. So that means every time I would drive it and then I would park it, the whole system was, I guess, a little too hot, and it wouldn't let the truck start. So I would need to manually start it with the alternator over there. If you know how to do it, you know what I mean. And that was the only way I was able to start the truck after a drive. So came back today, started checking out what was wrong with it. The only difference that I noticed that this alternator was doing is creating ground. So since I powder coated some parts in the truck, let me show you. Since I did powder coat some stuff in the truck, such as the alternator bracket, the front timing cover, valve covers, valley cover, I didn't notice that I forgot to sand down where the alternator meets on the aluminum, not the actual powder coat, the powder coat over it, like the paint. I forgot to sand down the paint so I have good, perfect ground connection on the alternator. Same thing, my bad. So I took out the alternator, I sanded it down, took off the bracket, sanded down the points where the bolts meet the head, sanded down the head a little bit, and it was fine. It created ground. I just added this wire. I'm gonna take it off, so don't worry, don't call me out on that. I know it's ugly, I don't want that. So right now, with the original alternator, oh yeah, I didn't do that, by the way, it was already like that. With the original alternator that the truck came with, the charging system is now working. And yeah, so we got a running truck now. I took it out for a pull, so that's why it's really hot right now. Took it out for a pull and parked it, and now I can turn it back on. What also I did notice that my voltage was running a little too high at high RPMs. It was like reaching 15 almost. I was like, holy shit. So I did have to change the battery battery control module, which is this little damn module right here. I need to take off the old one. I need to take off the whole wiring just so I can slide it out, or I could just break it off, but I can't just break it off because I still need to run this one in the wire itself. So yeah, you guys, this means, well, kind of means that the Trailblazer is pretty much done. It's I just need to get some rear tires, and that's pretty much it, and a wash and the plates. God damn it, so never mind, I still need a couple more things. But motor wise, running fine. It only had the battery, what did you call the check engine light for the battery, so I need to clear that, and then that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Oh, boss man's here. And just like that, she's ready to go. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys. Trailblazer's pretty much done. Tomorrow we're gonna go get some new tires for the rear tires, and then get her washed first of all, because she looks dirty, really dirty. Get her washed up, and then maybe take her to the exhaust shop, fix that exhaust leak that it has in between the white pipe. I think it's a flex pipe for sure. So I want to delete that, and then pretty much it. We can start going to do some pulls and stuff like that, get some reactions going. Maybe it's not that fast, but I've never driven one, so I'm really excited for it. So with that being said, you guys, that's it for this one. If you guys have any mods you guys want to see me doing on the Trailblazer, let me know. If I have the time, especially the money, we'll probably put in some work on it. I do want to do a sound system for it, so that's one thing I do want to do. Headers, and then do a retune with my boy KP Fab and Tune out in Riverside. Same guy that tuned my green truck, so we're gonna get this one tuned by him too. And then yeah, along the way I do have something very vital for this truck, which is the 4L80. I do have a 4L80 for this one, but I don't have a 4L80 for that one, right? So yeah, if you guys have fucking the stock stock wheels for this car, let me know. I do want to buy them. I really don't like these 22s. I don't like big wheels either way, so some of the 20s would be borderline for it. So until then, just have to rock these, or I can throw some welds on it. Would look sick, but I don't want to waste that much money on just wheels on a family truck. Maybe later down the road, not right now. But again, you guys, if you guys do want to see some mods, just drop them down below. I'll go through them, scroll through them. If I find a good deal on parts, or if I do want to do that specific mod you guys are requesting, let me know. I'll do it. And yeah, I think I am going to do, another thing I am going to do is I'll paint correction and get that hood painted, or if I can find a cow hood, do that too. But anyways, you guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.